Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm going to do another reaction, classic rock reaction. This is Black Sabbath, called Hand of Doom. Let's go.
Gonna do. Time's caught
George
up
W.
with you. Now you wait your turn.
The things soldiers have seen.
There's no return.
These are good images. Giving death a kiss. Hold up. First impressions. Take this off real quick. First impressions. This song so far is not only powerful, I think, to a certain extent, it's even carrying a stronger personal message than War Pigs. it's definitely on the same level of War Pigs, where musicianship is concerned, where the strength and the clarity of the message is concerned. The difference between the two of them, so far from what I'm getting, is that War Pigs addresses the bigger, broader picture of war and, of course, how bad it is. Hand of Doom, this song, is focusing on a very, very specific part of the fallout of war and the consequence of war. It's commanding your attention towards something very, very specific. That's what I'm getting. The musicianship here is really, really awesome. It's powerful. It's exactly the standard of what I expected from War Pigs. So that bar, it's up here, and they're with it. They're on point with that. But yeah, first impressions just of the song and the lyrics. It's walking you through the process that this soldier is going through, the bewilderment after the fact. Now he's having to deal with all the things that he's experienced and that he's seen, and he's having a really, really rough go at it. That's my first impressions, and it is it's triggering. It's triggering for me on a personal level because I can relate to this in that I've seen friends and associates go through similar things. So it's bringing things home. The video is really good as well. Let's keep going. A mother's worst nightmare.
Now you know the scene. Your skin starts turning green. Your eyes no longer see life's reality. Push the needle, face that sickly grin. Holes are in your skin, cut by deadly pen. Head starts spinning round. You fall down to the ground. Feel your body heave. Death hands
price of life too high. Now you're gonna die. I want to read this. Thanks to the thousands of men, women, and children who have given their lives in the name of freedom and democracy, our men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces, as well as those of foreign nations and civilians worldwide, are the reason I can sit home and make this video. Thanks to all who serve here and abroad. I hope peace will be a new path mankind pursues. We can only hope. Okay. Wow. Very well done. Yeah. This song here is very, very triggering to me on a very personal level. Before I get into this, I made a note for myself. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Thomas Luby. Thanks, man. And Mace Gill. Thanks very much for recommending that I react to this. This song is, like I was saying, just as strong and just as commanding as War Pigs. It's just as good musically as War Pigs. It's I think it's a little bit more specific and focused, and that would be probably the biggest difference between the two songs. War Pigs addresses a general overview of how terrible war is. This is a very, very specific focus case of what war creates in the life of a soldier, a service person. A little bit more on that, but first I want to get into just a little background. I just want to absorb a few parts of the lyrics again. The lyrics are powerful in this song, even though the instrumentals are fantastic. I also like in the song that there's just like in War Pigs, there's like a stretch in the middle, giving you time to absorb what you've heard from the lyrics, and it stretches it out, and with that, the message sinks in more. It's very sombering. So the song takes you through the process that this soldier is going through. Take your written rules, you join the other fools. Turn to something new, now it's killing you. So he's going through the process of suffering, bewilderment, and so now he's turning to drugs to help him to cope with his PTSD, with his demons, with his disillusionment. First it was the bomb, Vietnam napalm, disillusioning. You push the needle in, right? So this person is in desperate need of help. And we're going back in those days where, first off, he didn't know where to turn to, who to talk to. He feared that he would have been looked down upon by his superiors. He feared that he would have been discharged with disgrace. So he couldn't, in his mind, turn to anyone on his side of the fence. He couldn't turn to anyone on a personal level between friends and family because he feared judgment. And so there starts this crazy ball of confusion, disillusionment, doubt, shame, and he's got all of these images in his head from what he's experienced and what he's seen that just won't let him rest. I get it. Let's dive into a little bit of history and the formation of this song, because I want to know how it got these guys to write something like this. I'm just bringing up a Wikipedia page here. Get some background info. Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath were an English rock band formed in Birmingham in 1968 by guitarist, main songwriter Tony Iommi, bassist and main lyricist Geezer Butler, drummer Bill Ward, and singer Ozzy Osbourne. Black Sabbath are often cited as pioneers of heavy metal music. A hard rock institution whose influence on heavy metal cannot be overstated, Black Sabbath not only pioneered the genre, they helped launch the career of one of its most colorful and controversial characters in Ozzy Osbourne. The formation of the song. Hand of Doom originally appeared as the sixth song in their second album, Paranoid, released in 1970. It's been performed in many Black Sabbath live concerts. The lyrics were written by Geezer Butler, while the music was written by the four members. Hand of Doom is accepted as one of the best songs on the album by many fans of Black Sabbath. Yeah, I can see why. It's the second longest song on the album behind War Pigs. The song was conceived after the band had observed a growing number of soldiers arriving home from Vietnam with severe drug addictions. It is about them taking drugs to forget the atrocities of war, only to see it catch up to them and slowly destroy them from the inside. Okay. So getting back to what I was saying in regards to combining or comparing rather this song versus War Pigs, I believe the big difference is this song is a stronger call to action, and it's commanding your attention to look at what war causes in the life of a service person. And I know there was a time of strife between the vet who desperately needed some help and resources and guidance, and I guess the establishment who were too not blind to see and understand their point of view, but unwilling to even take a look and acknowledge that there was the existence of what we now call PTSD, and that the soldier, the service person, needs help, needs resources, they need guidance, they need a whole measure of things. Now, this is what the rub is. To take care of the affairs of a service person and a veteran, there's costs involved. And this is where selfishness kicks in. They didn't feel that the life of a soldier, of a veteran, was that important to do something about it. That's what I feel, that's what I've experienced, that's what I've seen. Thankfully now, in this time, there's the awareness of what PTSD is. There is the acknowledgement that service persons and vets need assistance where it comes to guidance, counseling, and resources. Thankfully, in this time and in this current administration, the interests of veterans and the interest of the service person is being administered to in a more powerful way. The talk is now being walked, and it's a really, really good time for vets and service persons alike where it comes to accessibility of help. At least now, there is someone who is willing to listen. There is someone who is willing to back their talk with action. And here we go again. That's the difference between these two songs. War Pigs addresses the big, broad, general picture. There is a call to action from War Pigs, but this song is saying there is a call to action right now. A very, very strong call to action is required. If you care, show you care. Do something about it. That's what I'm getting from this song. And it's interesting because I wasn't aware of this song. I haven't heard this song. And I think to myself, why would that be? I'm thinking because it's such a strong call to action and it holds you accountable. Now that you know what PTSD is, now that you know what a service person, a veteran is going through, what's in their mind, what causes the depression, self-esteem, low self-esteem, bewilderment, disillusion, suicidal tendencies. Now you have to act and do something about it. This separates people who just have a broad sentiment about, yes, war is bad, from the people who are now challenged and commanded to do something about it. I really, really like that. But I think that's the reason why this song is not as wholly embraced as War Pigs might be, because it is such a strong command and challenge to action. It's a sifter, it's sifting out the wheat from the chaff, as my mom used to say, and it's telling you to put up or shut up. Really, that's what this song is saying. So here's some additional info about it. Sabbath bass player Geezer Butler wrote this song about heroin addiction. It was inspired by the band members seeing a whole bunch of syringes left on the ground by audience members at their shows. So, first off, that brought to their conscious mind, to their attention, what was going on in a lot of the general public at the time, not just the service person serving abroad. And of course, now that it's in their focus, they're now seeing a lot of the service members coming back who are addicted to heroin and other drugs as well. So for these band members, it must have been very, very alarming, and to the point where, of course, they wrote and performed this song. It's a powerful, powerful song, and it's almost enraging. That's the word I'm going to use. It's almost enraging that this song has not been circulated as much as War Pigs. War Pigs is a great song, of course, but this song is just as great, but even more commanding to action than War Pigs. And it's a shame that it has not been as well distributed as War Pigs has. Maybe it's just me that I just have never heard or been made aware of it. What else do I want to say about this? Yeah, when I was in the army, I never saw or heard about drug addiction and or misuse among my fellow associates at the time. I guess in a way I was very sheltered, or I was very ignorant, and I didn't see, or I wasn't trained to recognize symptoms. And later, when I transferred to the Navy, what was different there is that I heard about rumors of addiction and misuse, but I never saw evidence of it. That's the big difference between the Army and the Navy that I had observed at the time. Now, later, after my contract expired and I was discharged, that's when I started to see evidence of addiction and misuse. And it blew my mind to realize that, wow, this person, and this person were using. And I didn't see it, I didn't understand it, I didn't catch it. And it really opened my eyes to how much they must have been struggling and suffering, because of course they have to function and perform their duty and be strong, but after that they probably retreat to their lonely spaces, and they go through this suffering, this bewilderment. You know, the next day I see them fresh, bright-eyed, and and capable of carrying out their duty. The only thing I can think of back then when I was in the service is that some seem to have a little bit more of an edge, but you pass it off as just their military persona. Your military persona being that, some people might be a little bit more hardcore than others. And given the platform and the environment that we're in, that's okay, as long as it isn't excessive and too abusive. Sometimes I've seen evidence of that, but overall, we basically just accepted it as just being a part of your military experience. So I was never really trained to see and discern the difference. And now that I look back on it, and I look back at specific cases, I realize that, yeah, you know what, this makes sense. I can understand now that this individual wasn't just overly eccentric, wasn't just edgy. They were using and suffering. So this song has a very sombering effect on me. It's a very personal, emotional thing that's happening. It's rolling back things in my mind that I haven't thought about for a very long time. So yeah, man, thanks again for recommending this to me. I can't imagine me going through my life and not hearing this song. you know, if I didn't start this channel, if I didn't incline myself to learn more, know more about classic rock, dive in a little bit more deeper, to look at Black Sabbath, for example, this song would have passed me by. And you see, I've said before in a previous video that the platform of rock and roll allows the artist to say more, to express themselves more. I could be wrong. I'm sure that some of you might disagree with me. There are exceptions to the rule, like I did the Marvin Gaye reaction to What's Going On. That's an exception to the rule. Redemption song from Bob Marley also. But overall, I believe that the platform of rock and roll just gives the artist the ability to say more. I mean, look at Black Sabbath. What they're saying in their songs, how they're delivering it with their musicianship. In War Pigs, you've got that beautiful stretch in the middle there for a couple of minutes where you're now allowed to absorb. And also in this song, there's a really nice overture stretch where you're allowed to take it in and absorb what you're hearing. So I am very thankful for the inclination to learn more about classic rock, because the roots really run deep in regards to not just its history, but the impact of what it can say on a personal, social, political level. And these anti-war songs have been a treasure trove of discovery and enlightenment for me. And coupled now with the fact that I'm on YouTube and I'm getting feedback from all of the YouTube associates, it's been a fantastic discovery of knowledge and wisdom. And I'm learning just as much from you guys as I am from researching and sourcing out material as I go along. That's the juice of the fiber that's feeding me, and that is why I was trying to explain to my friends, and I couldn't articulate as well as I am now. But hopefully you guys are watching and you understand. I know that sometimes I take a lot of time with this, and hours and days go by and I'm still at it, and I'm talking to my friends now, and you guys get frustrated with me, but this is the reason why I'm doing this. Could you imagine if I had not been led to listen to and research this song? I feel like I'm a little bit more on the complete side just because I was led to react to this song. Yeah, it's powerful, and there's some healing taking place. So thank you guys. Thank you again. Thank you everybody who recommended this song to me. I appreciate it very much. Okay, man. What else? Yeah, you know what? Let me go back to some song facts, because this song is very, very influential. And so the formation of the song, there has been a number of cover versions. Slayer has done a cover version. Their album Nativity in Black 2. Danzig on its 96 album, Black Acid Evil, that was the album. And on the Black Sabbath fan compilation, Nativity in Black 3, that's based on the tribute album Nativity in Black 1 and 2. Isis did a cover on its 99 EP Sawblade. Orange Goblin on a split with Electric Wizard. H.I.M. As one of their B-sides on the single The Funeral of Hearts. and on their 2007 compilation album Uneasy Listening Volume 2. Nirvana has also covered part of the song during their early shows. In popular culture, Melissa auf der Mauer, known for her work with Hole and the Smashing Pumpkins, was the leader of a Black Sabbath cover band named after this song, Hand of Doom. The song was used in a scene in the 14th episode of the first season of Elementary, originally aired on February 3rd, 2013. Elementary, I think that's about Sherlock Holmes in the modern day. Here's some artist facts for Black Sabbath. In 2005, Black Sabbath was finally inducted into the UK Music Hall of Fame. They had been overlooked 7 times, prompting Ozzy to ask that the band be taken off the list, feeling it was a sham because fans don't vote for the inductees. The band's friend and neighbor, Brian May, inducted them. In 2006, the band was also inducted into the American Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tony Iommi was almost unable to take his award home with him because airport security told him that the large sculpture could be used as a weapon. The band used to rehearse across from a movie theater. They got the idea to make scary music after seeing how much people enjoyed horror movies. There's a 1964 Boris Karloff movie called Black Sabbath, but according to Tony Iommi, none of the band had seen the movie at the time. Funny quote here I'm looking at from Ozzy. Geezer Butler had written a song called Black Sabbath that took its title from a novel by occult writer Dennis Wheatley called The Devil Rides Out, in which a satanic ritual called a Black Sabbath is described. The group adopted it as their new name and often played up the demonic angle, even though it was mostly an act. Ozzy once said, "The only black magic Sabbath ever got into was a box of chocolates." And that's the information and the formation of this song. And once again, I just want to thank you guys for recommending this song to me. I'm going to focus a little bit more on Sabbath in the next couple of months to come. I want to get to know more about them and some of their work, even if it isn't anti-war, social, or political. They're just really, really great artists, and they have a lot of depth, and I'm glad that I was actually able to experience that and look a little bit deeper into it. So let me know what your Sabbath recommendations are, what your favorite songs are, and I'll definitely get to them. I think that's all the talking I need to do. So thanks very much for joining me, hanging with me for a little bit, and I'll see you guys in another reaction sometime. Take care. Peace.